Alright, so today we want to use CorelDraw to design a magazine cover. Let me show you how the cover looks like. So this is it right here. We are going to design this cover in CorelDraw, and this is a magazine cover. So to begin, I will start my CorelDraw. So let me minimize this and look for CorelDraw. On my desktop, I have CorelDraw 2017, and that is what I'm going to use for my designing. So I'm going to start. When you start CorelDraw, this is your welcome screen, and to start a new project, you simply have to go to File. Let me zoom in a little. Go to File and click New. When you click New, you see your drawing page over here, and this is where all your artwork is going to go. And when you do your printing, this will be the edges of the printout. So this space right here will not be part of your printing. The printing will be the box we have here. You can still design out here to do your sketches and everything, but when you are done, you need to bring all your objects onto the drawing page, because this is your main print area. So first of all, we will check the size of our drawing page to be sure that we are working on the right paper size, because when we finish, we are going to print this work. Usually CorelDraw is used for designs that will be printed, so we need to check the size we are working with. If you don't choose your size and you work on the wrong size, when it's time for printing, you will have issues. So what you want to avoid is using the wrong size to work. And CorelDraw sometimes will store some of your previous sizes, especially when you save your settings. And so when you open to CorelDraw, you need to check and be sure you are working with the right size. Alright, let's continue. So to check for my size, let me zoom in again and move towards this area. Over here, what do we see here? A4. So this is our page size, A4. So this is where you check whether you are working on the right page size or not. So we want the A4 page, and that's exactly what we have. So the design we are going to do today is going to be on A4. Let me check the work again. This is what we are supposed to achieve, and we will do that right here in CorelDraw. To begin, I will go to my toolbox and choose the right tool to work with. Let me give you a quick tour of the tools. When you come here, the first tool we have here is called the pick tool. It's called the pick tool. And we have another tool here called the shape tool. Then we have the crop tool. We have a zoom tool, and all the tools come with shortcuts. In CorelDraw, we do a lot of shortcuts. So you see Z here. So when you press Z or Z, it will select the tool for you automatically. Usually, we use spacebar for the pick tool, and some of the other tools you'll find their shortcuts right there. The tool I'll be using right now is called the rectangle tool. So I'll select my rectangle tool. That is what I'm going to use. Let me zoom out and come here, and I'm going to draw a rectangle here. After drawing this rectangle, I'm going to shape the rectangle or distort it in a little way to get what I want. So let me check the design, and in this design I want to create this first part. So I will come here and select my pick tool. The pick tool is one of the most common tools or popular tools in CorelDraw, and we use it to move around and to select and to shape things. We have a shape tool, but this tool is used for moving around and doing every other thing apart from actual shaping with the shape tool. We'll look at that very soon. Alright, so let me zoom in a little into my work and show you certain things. In this particular design, I can see that I have some black boxes surrounding it because I have selected it. And if you look closely, you can see some white boxes as well. The white boxes are called nodes and the black ones are called handles. So we'll be using the handles to do the shaping we have to do now. Now, when you want to shape with the nodes, that is when you use the shape tool. So right now, I will click in the middle, the midpoint here. When I click on it, you see that all the handles will change. Let me click now. So all the handles have changed, and I'm going to use the left one here to change the shape by dragging it up this way till I get a shape like this. So this is how I have distorted my shape with just one drag. So let me continue. I want to give this a color, and I'm going to select color orange. So I come to the color palette. This area is called the color palette, where we have our colors. So as an artist, you have a palette. In CorelDraw, this is our palette. So I select the orange to color it, and I have some outline around it which I don't like. I want to remove the outline. So the outline, I can see some black outline. Usually in CorelDraw, we remove outlines that we don't like. So this outline, I want to remove it. To be sure of the outline, I can come to the status bar, and on the status bar, I'm going to see the colors being used. Okay, so now I'm on the status bar. On the status bar, you should see the colors you are using. This color is for the fill, and you will know that it is fill because of this icon. You can see a container with ink in it. So this is for fill, and this is our fill color. And over here, this pen you see here is for outline. This is what we use to outline. So this is our outline pen, and this is the outline color. So the outline color is what I don't need. I want to remove it. To remove the outline color, I'll come to the color palette, move to the very top, and I'll see the first color here. It is marked with black X with white background. It means no color. So I will right click, remember, not left click, right click. When you right click, it means you are applying color to your outline. So when I right click on black, I will get black outline. When I right click on blue, I'll get blue outline. When I right click on white, I'll get white outline. But when I right click on this no color, it means the outline color will be removed. So let me check what I have here, and I can see that the outline color is gone and the shape looks neat. Okay, so let's continue. So this is the first shape you will draw for this work. Now I'm just going to do a lot of duplication to get the rest. So I'll not do this again. First of all, I'll click on it and I'll copy, Ctrl C, paste, Ctrl V to paste. And the pasted one, I want to mirror it. So I'll go onto the property bar up here. This is called the property bar. And over here we see mirror horizontally. I'll click on it, and you can see that my second shape has been mirrored. Now it's not the first one I did. I copied and I pasted, so I duplicated it, and the duplicate is what has been mirrored right here. To make everything simple, let me change the color of the duplicate. So I'm going to give it red. Let me see. So the duplicate has a red color, so now you can see clearly. Actually, I want to use a darker red. So I'll go back to the color palette. On the color palette, if you want different shades of a certain color, you will click and hold on that color, and more colors will show. So we can pick one of them. I'll choose the one at the top here, which will give me a darker red, and this is what I want to use. Alright, so now that this is done, I'm going to move the duplicate to the left side, and whilst I'm doing this, I want to press on Shift to lock it in line. Shift is a very useful tool in CorelDraw. When you press Shift, Shift will lock the object you are dragging in line so that it doesn't move to a different line. So that when you get to where you want to leave it, it will be in line. Alright, so this is what I have, and I think it looks quite okay. It looks quite okay to me. If not, you adjust it till it touches it very well. So right now I'm clicking on it and using Control and the right key to shift till I get the alignment right. So I think the alignment looks good to me right now. Let me try again. I've done it too much. Close. I think I'll go with this. So I'll use this alignment. So I have joined the two. This is how it looks when you join the two. Okay, so with these two shapes that I have, I'm going to select them both. In CorelDraw, when you are selecting something, you need to highlight around it. You need to do what? Now, when you want to select something, watch this, and you highlight only part of it. You see, if I highlight up to here and I release, it will only pick this one because it's surrounded only that one. For you to highlight anything, you need to go back to an empty space and drag across everything completely. If it's not complete, it will not select. So when I highlight completely, you see that it is now, all the two are now selected. And that's exactly what I want. Now watch what I will do. I will use the handle here to drag this down a little so that it will look a little shaped. And I think for now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to group it. So I'll click here to group. Let me zoom in for you to see. This one says group what? Group objects. Can you see it? The shortcut is Ctrl G to group. So I'm going to group them here. This group will group them together. So even without selecting the two, when you try moving one, you see that all the two will move because you have grouped them as one object. So this grouping will help me because I'm going to duplicate this whole thing again. To duplicate, if you have the big keyboard, you can use the plus on the numeric keypad to duplicate. I am using a notebook computer here, so I will use copy and paste to duplicate. If you have the wider keyboard with a numeric keypad, use the plus. The plus is much faster and better because copy and paste will have to store the whole thing in memory before pasting, and if the work is very large, your machine will be slow. Alright, so I will copy and paste to duplicate, and this time I'm going to mirror. I'll mirror vertically this time. The first time I did a horizontal mirroring, right? Now I want to mirror vertically. So I click on vertical mirror, and you see what has happened. You see that the two that I selected, the duplicates of the two have been mirrored. Now see what I will do. I will drag the mirrored version up, and you see that as I'm dragging, it is moving out of line. To lock it to line, you press shift, and shift to lock it to the line, and you'll be able to move it the way you want to the top here. And I'll make sure the tips here touches each other. Please, can you see what I've done? This is what we are doing. Now let me check our work again. Watch this. After doing this, I'll click on the top ones, and I'm going to mirror horizontally. You remember where the mirror buttons are, so I click on mirror horizontally, and I have a shape like this. So with this, it's beginning to look like 3D. in a way. All right, so now that I have this, watch what I'm going to do next. I'm going to select this set, copy and paste, and I'm going to drag it here. You see that it's not in line, but I hold shift to lock it to line, and I'll let this also touch here, and I'll use my arrow keys to make sure it joins. So now you see the shape I'm having is beginning to look like 3D, but this is very simple. I just use one shape, I mirrored and I changed the color and I brought it here. I grouped the two, mirrored, copied and pasted, mirrored it vertically, brought it up, mirrored horizontally to change the positions of the color, and then I duplicated this and brought it here. Very simple. Okay, now watch what is going to happen next. Now I'll take the rectangle tool and come inside here and draw a rectangle. Do you see this rectangle? Let me give it a color for you to see it well. Now I'm not supposed to pick a color with this tool. I'm supposed to go and use a pick tool. With CorelDraw, anytime you select a tool, you have to drop it immediately you finish using it. So after drawing this rectangle, I'm not supposed to be walking around with that tool. I'm supposed to go and pick the pick tool so that I move around with it. Because it's not clear, I'm going to color it so that you can see it well. And do you remember how to remove the outline? Because I have an outline, I can see black here. I don't need a black outline. How can I remove my outline? Right click on the no color here, and I've removed it. Now see what I will do. I will click on it and drag this to the, no, let me undo. I'll click in the middle and shape it, turn it around like this. I'll turn it around like this time. And after doing this, I will pick my shape tool now to shape the nodes. But to shape the nodes, you need to convert it to curves, because if you don't convert the nodes to curves and you try shaping the nodes, you see that it will rather round the edges like this. This is not what I'm looking for. It will do this if you have not converted to curves. So I want to convert to curves so that I can shape it better. So I will undo, Control Z. I've undone it. So I'm going to convert to curves. To convert to curves, you have to click on Objects, and you see Convert to Curves right here. Convert to curves. Please, can you see it? So go to Objects, Convert to Curves. So I've converted the nodes to curves. Now that the nodes are in curves, I can shape it, and I need 4 points to shape with this particular work. So I already have 4 points. I will click on this, just drag it to touch this node. Now, if you notice, when I was bringing this node to touch this node, it just locked on it for me. It locked on it. The reason why it did this locking is because over here we have some a certain feature here that helps your objects to snap to each other, and this is very, very helpful. So you go to the snap, and I can see that it is checked here. Snap to object is checked. We have snap to page. You can snap to guidelines and others. So my snaps are on. Okay, let me turn all of them on. So because of this snap, when you are bringing something to another node, see how it will work. It locks it locks on it when it gets close, like a magnet, and that helps you to properly arrange your design. So I want to place this one here, so it has just snapped onto it for me. And this one right here, what I will do is that I will let it touch the one here. It has snapped onto it, and this is exactly what I want to create. So if you can see what I'm doing, it is a very, very simple but intelligent way of creating a design. Now I'm going to duplicate this. I want to show you another way of duplicating. If you are duplicating to a different location, The first time we were duplicating onto the same location, we use the copy and paste, or you can use the plus key on the numeric keypad, the long plus key on the numeric keypad. But if you are pasting to a different location, this is what you do. Watch me. I'm going to move this object as if I'm moving it away. If I drop it, it will move away. That's not what I want to do. Let me undo. I will move it as if I'm moving it away. Now I want it to be on the same line, so I'll hold shift so that it will be on the same line whilst I'm moving it away. When I get to where I want to leave it, I will right click together with the left click. Right click and leave it. Before I drop it, I right click. So you move it with a normal left click. When you get to where you want the duplicate, you right click together. Then you release this first and this second. The left first and the right second. And it will duplicate. Now it's beginning to look interesting. So what I will do now is to group them. Remember, in CorelDraw, if you want to highlight anything, you need to highlight completely. If you see what I've highlighted, I've selected over all of them completely. If you leave any small portion, that portion you left will leave that whole shape out. For example, when I drag from here and I get here and I release it, it will pick all of them and leave this one. Have you seen it? Let me undo. So to highlight this well, you need to make sure you go over all of them. Let the selector consume all of them before you release, and this time they are now together. So I want to group. To group, you can press Ctrl G on your keyboard or come here and select this group objects. Grouping is very, very important and useful in CorelDraw because most of the time after joining two things together, you want them to remain together. So you group them so that when you are moving something, they will all move together. So now all this has become one shape. Imagine how I've been able to use just a rectangle to create this nice shape. So I use multiple rectangles to create all this. Now they are all one. They are just one shape now because I have grouped them. If I want to ungroup, I'll go through this. I'll just click on it and select ungroup. All right. Let me continue. Now I want to focus on my main drawing page. I want to teach you something important here. In CorelDraw, if you want your design to, or if you want to draw a rectangle around the entire drawing page, you can come to the rectangle tool and just double click on it. When you do that, you see that a perfect rectangle will be drawn on your main drawing page. And this is very, very useful when you want to create borders around your work. You just double click to draw a perfect rectangle, then you come here and choose the thickness of the border. So if you want to draw a border around your work, you don't have to use your hand to draw. It won't be 100% perfect. So just double click on the rectangle tool and it will draw a perfect border. All right, now the rectangle I have drawn, I want to remove the outline of the borders. So it will just be there as an imaginary rectangle or page border. So I will just right click on the no color here, or I can use this. Let me show you another way. I can use this here. The outline pen is here. I can come to none and it will remove the outline. Now you can see that it is still selected. Let me use a pick tool now. I'm done using my rectangle. You can see over here that the rectangle is not showing, but when you click there, you can see that it's selected. That means there's something there. There can be a rectangle right here with no outline. If there's no outline, you will not see it. But when you click the CorelDraw, will know that there's something there. You will not see it when the color is the same as the background. Okay, this is exactly what I want. Now I am going to take this whole work and power clip it into my imaginary rectangle around the entire page. I'm going to do power clipping. In CorelDraw, there's something called power clip. Power clip is when you take one object and you send it within another object, and it will go inside. So that's what I want to do. Let me show you how to power clip. Let me zoom in a little. To power clip, you will use your right click button. First of all, click on what you want to power clip and use a right click button to drag what you want to power clip. Not what you are power clipping into, but what you want to send into. So this is what I'm going to send into my rectangle. So I'll move that with my right click button, not the main left click button that you usually use. This time I'm using my right click. You can also use a right click to move something. Now you can see that my cursor has changed to something round and some it looks like a gun target. You will see this when you use a right click to drag. Whenever you see this, you can release the mouse, the right click button, and you get some options. Among the options, I can see one of them that says power clip what? Inside. That's what I'm looking for. So I click on it to power clip inside. Let me zoom out. So my design has entered into the new shape, and it is only part that I'm seeing because that's where I got to before power clipping. So it has gone in. So now what do? I need to follow it inside. Me myself, I'm going to enter into that shape and I'll go and position it right. How can I enter into it? Well, as a matter of speaking, I'm just going to look inside. So to look inside, you can see some commands at the bottom here. These commands, when you move your mouse away, they will be faded. When you bring your mouse close, then they will show. Among those commands, there's the first one that says edit what? That is what I'm going to use. So I'll click on edit power clip, and immediately I click, it will take me inside the power clip. Wow. It's like I've entered into the matrix right now. Alright, so now I'm inside. I can bring it to the right position as I want. So you watch what I'm doing. I will bring this side here. I'll use this particular handle, not anything else, this handle, to try and shape this here. And now I need to make it look exactly like this. So I will use this one now to bring this one close like this. If it's not there, I will do it again. Let it look close like this. Let this one come in a little bit. Good. And the top here, let me see what I can do. First of all, at the top side, we are not supposed to see anything there. So I'm going to click on it, start dragging and hold my shift to move it up till the white areas go into. So you see that the line is on top of, the line has covered the white areas. So I'll zoom out a little, and now when I come out, I can see that my power clip has trimmed it very well for me. Okay, how did I come out? Let me go in again. To go in, apart from using that particular button at the bottom, you can click on it on the shape that you have a power clip within. Press Ctrl and click. When you press Ctrl and click, it will also take you into the power clip. It's like entering into the matrix. Okay, fine. So I'm inside the power clip, and to come out, you can click on this particular, there's another button here. It says stop editing what? You can click on that to come out of the power clip. But what I did before, I came outside somewhere, press Control and click outside. So when you press Control on your keyboard and click outside, you will come out as well. How do I get into the power clip? Yes. Okay, I hold Control and click. I'm within it. Now I want to remove this particular design and bring it down here. So to move it, they are locked. How can I remove it? Yes, I have to ungroup. So to ungroup, I can right click and look through the options. Do you see ungroup objects? It's the same thing like the grouping. If you right click, let me right click now. When you right click, you see that we have group object. Can you see group? Okay. Or the ungroup too, you can come up here, you can see this thing here and it says ungroup what? And we have another ungroup. This one says ungroup all objects. So the ungroup, there are two. We have ungroup and ungroup all objects. I want to explain the two. If you have, let's say, 3 objects grouped together, and for example, you group the first 2 first before you join the third one. So the first 2 were in one group. Then you brought those 2 to the third and you now group all of them. When you ungroup, it will break them apart in one step. So it will just release the third one, but the first and second will still be grouped. Because that is how it was first before you grouped all of them. But when you select ungroup, ungroup will break every group within it. Please, are you with me? Excellent. I don't want to spend time on it. So this time I just want to group. I don't want to ungroup all. So when I ungroup, this time I want to ungroup. Alright, so when I click here, I can now drag it. Remember to hold shift so that it will lock it on the line. See how this is where I was when I held shift brought it to the line for me. Did you see it? So I'll just send it close for the snapping to get to the edge. Okay, now you see that I've made a mistake because I didn't duplicate. I wanted to duplicate, but I forgot. So let me undo, Ctrl Z and do it again. It's not moving well. I'll hold shift to lock it. Shift is very useful. If you want to understand CorelDraw, use shift. Now to duplicate, right click and release. Sorry, I didn't do it well. Let me try again. Bring it down, hold shift. When I get there, I have to right click before I release. Now I have right clicked, I can release them. So I have a copy. This is beautiful. This is what I want. Let me check. And I think this is exactly what I want. And there's also a black background here. So I want to create that now. To create that is simple. I can use anything. But in order not to confuse you, let's continue working with our rectangle tool. I'll just draw a rectangle somewhere here. And I will, watch this. I will choose my pick tool and convert it to curves. You remember how to convert to curves? Objects and convert to what? Curves. Then what I will do now is that I'll hold the first node, bring the first node here to touch this node. I'll send this node to touch this node. You see what I'm doing? Now let me color it for you to see it well. I want to give it a color for you to see. There's one black color down here. I like that black color. It's very deep. Okay, and I want to remove the outline, so I'll come here and remove the outline from here. Alright, so now I've colored it, so when I'm working with it, you'll see it. Let me zoom in. Okay, I will take my shape tool now, come down, take this node, join it to this node, take this node, join it to this node. Now we have a problem here. How do I fill this space? I can create a node. With a shape tool, you can double click on any part of the edges and a node will be created. So I've created a node. I will drag the node down here to join this node, and voila, I've done it. Okay, so this looks great. Now I can come out of my power clip. How do I come out of my power clip? How do I come out of my power clip? Yes, hold Control and click outside. So I'm out of the power clip. Now you see that the rectangle has trimmed the whole work. I could never have achieved this without that rectangle I drew. So that rectangle is important. Even though we can't see it, it is doing the work for us now. Okay, now let's check our work. Now the original one, I can see that the shapes here looks much bigger than mine. It's supposed to cross more than half of the page. So the half line is here. It's supposed to cross more than half. But mine looks like everything is crowded at the top. It's supposed to reach somewhere. Okay, this is my half. It's supposed to reach somewhere here. So what do? Let me go into the power clip. And inside the power clip, what I will do is that I'm going to highlight everything and group everything. I'll come here and select group. When I group, I'm going to use this arrow to drag it down, and it's not going to spoil anything. Let me check it well and see whether it has crossed more than half of the page. I think it has this time. Now I'm seeing a problem up here. I'm seeing that this part here is trying to peep through. Do you see that the line, it has crossed the line here? So there's some space here. I don't know if you can see on the projector, but my line is here and I can see some space here. So there shouldn't be any space here. It has to cover the line. So what I will do is that I will zoom out and I will select it and drag the top here to make sure the top also crosses the line, and I think it is okay. Let me come out of the power clip and check, and I don't see any space there. It looks perfect. So shift F4 to see everything well. I think it looks great. So when you are starting, even if your rectangles are not looking okay, by the time you finish and you get to this point, you see that they will all look okay. Please, are you following? Yes. Good. So now let me continue. Let me check my work. I can see a picture in the background. You see a picture? Okay, I'm going to insert that picture. So that picture is called City Lights. I'm going to look for my City Light picture. I found it here. So I'm going to bring in this picture. How do we bring in a picture? I can do several things. Let me drag this window somewhere and drag this and drop it in here. When I drop it in here, I've brought it onto my work. So I brought a picture onto my work. Okay, so what do I do next? The next thing to do is to power clip this picture also into our main rectangle. So I will right click on the picture, send it onto the rectangle, release it when I see that target, and click on power clip inside. I don't know if you can see. This is power clip inside. You click on it and it will also go in it. Now it has gone into the power clip, but it's not looking okay. I need to follow it into the power clip. I hold Control and click on it. I'll go into the power clip. Now I can click on it and resize with the handles here. I'm resizing, and I'll position it on top. And now let me fix it and see. Now I've just placed it on top. Because it is on the first layer, it is covering the rest of the work. So that is what we want to prevent. We want it to move back to the last layer. CorelDraw works with layers, so they are imaginary layers that you can't see. So I want to move this to the last layer. To do this, watch this. This is how you can do it. You right click on what you want to send backwards or forward. Right click on it. Right click, and then look for order. Do you see order? And come here and select back of what? Layer. So it will move to the very back. So if you check here, you see that the picture has gone to the back. It's now the last thing, right? Okay, let me come here and check my city. This tower here, where the tower is positioned, I'll use that as a guide to position my tower to at the same spot. And I can use my arrow keys to also help me move everything. My arrow keys, if the arrow keys is not moving fast, you can hold shift and move it. It will move much faster. So I will use my arrow keys to arrange things, and I think I'm okay with what I have now. Now you may think it's not perfect, but when I come out of the power clip, you'll see that I have a clean work. So I'll come out of my power clip, hold control, click outside, and you see that I'll be out, and you can see the whole work like this. Please, can you see this? This looks quite good. Now I'm not done. If you look in the main work, you can see that we have some shading here. I want to apply that gradient. It's a gradient, so I can only apply that within the power clip. So let me press Ctrl and click to go in. I'll use my rectangle tool again. You know that I've only used a rectangle tool. I'll click on the rectangle tool and draw a rectangle around this area like this. Release it. Select my pick tool, and I'm going to color that particular rectangle with the black. You remember we used some black when we clicked here. We saw some black. The last black color. Last black is black, 100% black. Cyan is 100, magenta is 100, yellow is 100, black is 100. Everything is black. I don't want my outline. I'll come here and select none to clear the outline. Let me drag this up a little bit. Please, can you see this? So I've covered it with a rectangle, but I'm going to make the top part gradient and transparent. So I'll come and choose my next tool here called the transparency tool. This is one of the famous tools in CorelDraw called transparency tool. We use it to create transparencies. If you want to see through something, that is the tool you want to use. So I want to see through just the top part, not the bottom part. So watch what I will do. I'll bring my mouse here, click and drag upwards, and for it to be perfect, I'll hold shift. Remember, shift helps us a lot. Drag it upwards to any desirable point and release it, and you see that it has created a transparency. If the transparency is not perfect, you come to the black spot here, the black handle here, and adjust it. You can still hold your shift and adjust it, because I am seeing a line. I'm seeing a line, and a professional designer does not create transparency for people to see lines. See, let me move it up again, and you can see that there's a line showing here. That line, let me move it up more, and you see the line I'm talking about. When you apply transparency, you make sure that line is not showing. No one should see such a line. Do you see this line? It's now showing well. You see this line? I don't need it, so I want it to disappear. It is this black handle that can let it disappear. So I'll bring it down, holding my shift, bring it just under the line, and it will apply the transparency to that level, and the line will disappear immediately. All right. Now let me zoom out, and if I come out of my power clip, you'll see that I have a beautiful work. This looks great. Now I'm not done. I'm supposed to create a certain logo. Do you see the logo here, Print Studio logo? I'm supposed to create a logo. Now watch how I'm going to create the logo. To create my Print Studio logo, I'm going to do it in a very, very simple way. After the logo, I'll end my presentation. Okay. Now watch this. I'm going to go into the power clip to create my logo. I'll click here one, hold Control and click twice. No, not double click, click second. I clicked first by selecting it, held Control, and I click again. So that's what I mean. Now I'm going to use the design I have here to create my logo. Now they are all grouped. So what do? I need to ungroup. So I'll ungroup. Let me ungroup. And watch this. I'm going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to create my logo. So watch what I'll do. I'll click on 1 to select it. Okay, 1 goes with 2. Then I'll click on this one by holding Shift so that it will add to it. If I don't hold Shift, it will release the first and pick only that. I'll come here, hold Shift and click on this to add this one. Hold Shift and click and add this. What I've selected, when I drag it here, that is my logo. I'm going to duplicate. Right click to duplicate, and you will see that I have a new shape here. I picked it from within what we have. So I'm going to group. After grouping, I'm just going to resize. Now when you are resizing, you can hold Shift to resize from all sides. So I'm resizing from all sides, and you see that it will become small like I want. Then I'll bring it up here. If it is not small enough, I'll resize again. If it's not small enough, I'll do it again. So now all I will do is to check the position. It has to be centered. So I'll check the position. If it's difficult to position it with your mouse, you can use your arrow keys to check the positioning. As a designer, you should be able to use your eye to gauge things. If something is not okay, your eye should tell you that this thing is not well aligned. Okay, let me leave it here for now, and let me check the main work. And I'm going to type the Print Studio. Now I'm going to use another tool called the text tool. We call it a text tool. In Photoshop, they call it a type tool. So let me zoom in for you to see what I'm talking about. Do you see this A? Do you see this A tool? This is what we use for typing text. It's called the text tool. So if you want to type something, just click on it and you can type. So I'll click on it, and it will give me the text cursor. Just click on it. I get a text cursor. I can click anywhere. Usually it's good to type outside. When you finish, you bring it onto your work. So I'll type print. Please watch what I'm doing. Do you see my print? This print I typed, I'm going to press enter after typing print and type studio. You see this? Now when you press enter when you are typing or during typing, it will put all of them together as one object. So whatever settings you apply to any of them, it will affect all of them. So I'm trying to increase the size, but it is increasing all of them. I'm using the handle to increase the size, and it is increasing all of them. If I want to decrease, it will decrease both of them. So what do? I want to break them apart. To break text apart, select the text and press Ctrl K on your keyboard. So by pressing Ctrl K, you see that print has been separated from studio. Have you seen that? Okay, so now I can increase the size of print, and I can decrease the size of studio. Let me check the fonts they used. If I don't get Times New Roman, I think I'll use Arial Black for this. Let's see if it will be fine. I go to fonts, I drop down, and I'll look for Arial Black. So I have Arial Black. Let me use Arial Black so that it will be thicker. Then I will resize this. This is Arial, normal Arial. Leave it in normal Arial and align the two well. Next time we'll talk more about alignment, but I want to show you the align tool. Let me select the two together. I held shift and I click on the second one as well, so they are all together. There is a certain Docker that is used for alignment. It's called align and distribute. So I'll find align and distribute here, and it will open the align Docker for me, alignment Docker. And in the alignment Docker, I'm going to use this particular alignment, this one here. It is center alignment, and by clicking on it, you can see that it has centered my work. So sometimes it is difficult to gauge and center things, so you can use the alignment to center, and when you use the alignment, it will center perfectly for you. Let me zoom out. I'm almost done. Let me zoom out. I'm almost done. All right, now I want to position my logo on top of my print very well, and I want to ensure as a professional that all the three are centered. So after positioning it, to ensure that they are all centered, I'm going to highlight across all the three, and I'll go back to align and distribute, and I'll use the middle align to align them. See how they came together? Perfect. This is perfect. Let me come out of the power clip and we'll check if there are any issues. This logo should go up a little bit. As a designer, when something is not okay, you should see. The studio is too small. Let it be up big a little bit. Now I'm holding shift to resize so it won't spoil the alignment. Not too much, but just a little bit. Come on. Let me make it bold and bring it down a little bit. Oh my goodness, it is starting to come together. This is starting to look good. Alright, so I'm almost done with the work, and I just need to position the logo very well. So I select everything and just make sure it looks okay. Now at this point, I will just come out of my power clip by pressing Ctrl and clicking anywhere outside like this, and I'm out of my power clip. If you check it well at this point and you realize that something is not well positioned, you can go back into the power clip. For example, I want to bring my logo down just a little bit, so I'll click here, hold Ctrl and click and highlight the entire logo and press the down arrow key on my keyboard to position it just a little. If it's fine, I check, I come out of the power clip and look at it again, and I think we have the design now. So you can check everything very well. You can check your city light picture. If it's not well, you click, go in the power clip and position it the way you want, and just make sure everything is fine, just as you want. You can also use your arrow keys to do some little adjustments, and just make sure you are fine. And when you are done, press Ctrl, click outside, and that is your work. So this work right here, you can save it, and you can also export as JPEG or PDF or any format you want. To save, you just click on File and Save. You give it a name. First of all, you choose where you want to save it. I want to save it somewhere. Graphic designs, I think I'm okay. I'll give it a name like magazine cover design and click save. It is saved. But what if I want this work as a JPEG to share on WhatsApp or to share on any platform or put on a website? How do I export this as JPEG? So to do that, we'll go to export. Go to export right here. This is the export button, you click on it, export, and export will allow you to choose where you want to export it to. Let me click on drive D, this here, graphic designs, and you can see here that it is in JPEG. If you don't see JPEG here, click here, save as type, and go through this list and look for JPEG. So I go through and JPEG is right here on top. If it's not on top, look through here and you'll find it. So I click on JPEG and I will come here and click on export. Now when you click on export, because you're exporting to JPEG, it will bring an export to JPEG dialog, and over here you are supposed to adjust the properties to make sure that the JPEG comes out the way you want. So I see that this is export to JPEG dialog box, and I have some settings here. This is the most important part of the export. Now the first thing to select is your color mode. Remember, we have CMYK, we have RGB. These two color modes are the most important color modes to understand. Now if you are exporting it for the purposes of printing, for the sake of printing, you leave it in CMYK. But if you are not exporting it for the sake of printing, you have to choose RGB. If you want to share on WhatsApp, choose RGB. You want to use it as a picture on a website, choose RGB. Whichever digital format, or if you want to use it in a digital way, use RGB. But if you are going to print, you use CMYK. Now let's say we want to print, you use CMYK. You need to come to quality and choose the quality you want. If you are printing, then choose the highest quality. It will re-render it in the highest quality, and once you see it here, that's the highest quality, and you look for your OK button, you click on it, and that's it. Right now I want it in RGB because I'm going to actually use it as a digital file to send to Photoshop, or send to put on a website, or share on WhatsApp, or use it online. So I'll use RGB. RGB too, you can come and choose your quality. Now when it comes to RGB, you need to know which quality will be best for you. If you are sharing it on the web, you can't use the highest quality because the highest quality will make the file too large. If you are not sharing on the web but you want to use it in another form and you want the quality very high, you can use the highest. If not, a medium or low quality for the web will be fine, or sometimes high is okay. I will use the highest now because of what I want to do with it. After choosing this, you come here and click OK, and your file is exported. You can go and look for it. We stored it on drive D in this folder right here in graphic designs, and I think that is it over here. Let me open it, and that is our work. So this is a JPEG version. You can use it as a background picture on your desktop. You can use it in any digital way you want. So that is the work, and we have saved, we have exported. You can also do a full screen preview by pressing F4 on your keyboard first and then F9, and you get a full screen preview of your work. And I think this is a beautiful work, and we have done very well. So on this channel we do a lot of teachings on IT, graphic design, even video editing. We teach on networking, we teach on virtualization, cloud computing, we teach on computer software, we teach on operating systems, we teach on different areas in IT, cyber security, malware protection, anti-malware. We teach on every subject in IT. So if you are someone who wants to build your IT knowledge and experience, then this is the best channel for you. On this channel you get a full education to be an expert IT professional, to be able to work in any company and get your dreams come true. So if you want to get into a company and be very good with computers, or you are already working in a company but you want to be updating yourself, getting more knowledge and more experience in IT to move your career to the next level and be very effective at the workplace, then subscribe to this channel and you'll be the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So join me always. This is Professor Fadams on Professor Fadams YouTube channel, and you will always be updated. I care about you. I'll take my time and teach and make sure you get the best. Thank you, and I will see you again in my next video. Thank you. Bye.